While his professional career might have only begun just a few years ago, Kylian Mbappe's stock has risen considerably. The young Frenchman has been in great form ever since he splashed onto the scene as a teenager at AS Monaco. A move to Ligue 1 giants Paris Saint-Germain propelled him further upwards, and the talented forward hasn't looked back since. After playing a crucial role in guiding France to only their second World Cup triumph, Mbappé is definitely on his way towards becoming one of the greatest players to have ever represented the French national team. We all know about the frightening pace the youngster possesses and how good he is on the turn. However, these two attributes barely scratch the surface if you ask us, which is why we really need to talk about what sets the Frenchman apart from other players. Mbappé is a fearsome striker due to his pace, lethal finishing, and a very direct manner of doing things on the field. Combine his pace and finishing and you have a deadly striker to worry about. And it's these two attributes that really helped the youngster break into AS Monaco's first team at the age of 16, breaking Thierry Henry's record as the youngest player in the club's history. Once he was thrust into prominence, the comparisons with Henry started creeping in. The youngster was scoring goals by turning defenders and beating them for pace. That had become a trend in his formative years as a first-team player. While he was deployed as a centre-forward early on, just like Henry, Mbappé preferred to play towards the left, cut inside and then wreak havoc inside the penalty area. While playing like this doesn't give any insight on his gameplay in its entirety, it does give us an idea about the type of player that Mbappé is. The youngster likes playing off the last defender and makes his opponent constantly worried by getting in behind them. That's also why Mbappé gets caught offside quite a lot. Defenders don't risk stepping up too high because at present we don't see any defender who can catch up to Mbappé. But that's not the only weapon that the youngster has at his disposal. Mbappé is one of the most composed finishers in the world, thanks to a wide array of tricks that he has up his sleeve when he's one-on-one with goalkeepers. And when he's under pressure from a defender, Mbappé changes his stride just a little before finishing things off. But if he has more time on his side, then he'll simply shorten his stride and quickly apply the finishing touch so that the goalkeeper doesn't even have enough time to assess the situation. Just like Ronaldo Nazario, Mbappé can also feint a shot and dribble around the goalkeeper. Now that's quite a piece of skill and something we don't see very often. Apart from that, Mbappé is a very strong dribbler, so it's very difficult to give him space to receive the ball and turn. So many times we've seen defenders switch off and the Frenchman take full advantage of the situation. Against Bayern Munich in the Champions League final, the youngster was not given an inch by Joshua Kimmich, and had the German been napping, the France international would have made things difficult for the fullback. Whenever he finds the space to run and simply push a defender, the latter would be left for dead, and when there isn't a lot of space to operate in, Mbappé would simply change his direction. In the Ligue 1 this season, only two players averaged more successful dribbles than Mbappé, teammate Neymar and Dijon's Mounir Chouillard. At PSG, Thomas Tuchel prefers Mbappé to play as the furthest player forward no matter what formation the German opts for. The youngster paired up well with Mauro Icardi and played through the middle at times as well. However, the youngster's tendency to move towards the left side meant that he would always shift there as the game opens up. This is a player who likes to operate around space and down by the flanks, where he is at his best. While he is lightning quick, Mbappé is also a very good reader of the game and spots opportunities way before the opponents realise what's happening. During the Champions League round of 16 game against Man United at Old Trafford last year, Mbappé observed Juan Bernat and Angel Di Maria linking up. The Frenchman quickly realised that he has to make some space to make an off-the-ball run. The youngster sped past Eric Bailly and Victor Lindelöf and made himself available for a Di Maria cross, which he received and finished off from close range. But now, teams have started getting wiser about his threats, and pace alone can't help him any longer. During the Champions League final, Mbappé was unable to make much of a difference because the German defence never allowed him a lot of space or the time to turn. While he's built a great understanding with PSG's main creators in Neymar and Di Maria, Mbappé is still far from a complete player. The youngster needs to be more dynamic when it comes to offensive build-ups. It's very rare to see Mbappé come closer to the midfield and add more creativity into the offensive push. He does come alive in the final third, but as he continues to develop, we expect the youngster to add more dynamism to his gameplay. Inability to really bring himself into the game and do something outside of the box was why Mbappé was unable to really stamp his authority in that final. The youngster was simply anonymous for the most part of the encounter. These are just some of the things that have held him back, And while we're not saying that Mbappé is overrated or anything like that, the youngster is still far from the finished product and still needs some time to develop further. But what Mbappé does perfectly is run around the back and out of the line of sight. His pace, intelligent movement and great finishing show why he's considered one of the biggest stars in the game at such a young age. So, is Mbappé ready to lift the Ballon d'Or or even win the FIFA Best Player of the Year award? Based on what he's achieved this season, there's no doubt that Mbappé is among the game's elite at this moment, but it would be unfair to brand the youngster as a deserving candidate to lift both awards. In fact, it would be an injustice to a lot of players if Mbappé ends up winning these individual accolades at the moment. Robert Lewandowski, for instance, was pretty much robbed of the Ballon d'Or, and based on his performances this year, the Poland international definitely deserves to win at least the FIFA Best Player award. Mbappé is definitely getting there, but if you ask us, we don't think that the youngster's ready to win such a prestigious accolade at the moment. Yes, he's won the World Cup and did help France to lift the trophy, but based on one tournament and a few domestic titles, it doesn't automatically make him the best around. And it would be understandable if he doesn't win these awards because at the moment, Mbappé is developing. But once his development comes to fruition, we do shudder at the thought of what he's going to do to defenders on a weekly basis. So, do you want to know how we never miss a match? With Fubo TV, you can stream any game, anytime, anywhere. Use our link in the description to start for free and watch your favourite teams live.